Dude, I'm gonna say it right now on the show. We're gonna keep some of this in.
Oh, okay.
Evan beat me 4 times. Quake champions. I'm not proud of
Did
that.
I was gonna say, did a piece of you die or
I realized I'm getting old. His listen. I know
his
the
reactions are crazy.
I know the maps. I'm good at map sense on Quake, but his map sense is insane. He can load into a map and look around and boom, he's in. He knows it. Reactions are great. Not to say I didn't frag him out a few good times. Like there was a few good moments where he's like, "Oh shit!" I was like, "Yeah,
Yeah.
motherfucker, yeah, you little punk, oh, little young punk." But no, he crushed it in Quake, and he said he had a really good time playing Quake. I was like, "All right, good." So play Quake more because Quake is amazing.
Hell yeah.
You ready to fucking start this bitch? I'm not.
I am.
I'm not giving him any more praise.
Yeah, no. We don't want to fluff him up too much for sure.
Make his head turn into Jimmy Neutron size. Welcome to the show, everybody. I am your host Nick, and that's your host Brody. I fucked that up. We're good. We're gonna keep it rolling.
Yeah, we're rolling
We're
now.
rolling. We're rolling. This is WASD and Beyond. Thanks for tuning in this week, guys. Yeah, let's just hop right into it with our sponsors and this spawn camp. WASD and Beyond is sponsored by Final Boss and Doc Longy. Doc Longy's on a bit of a hiatus right now. He's sorting some shit out with the brand, so keep an eye on the page. He'll be back. Be awesome when he comes back. I'm super stoked to see what he drops. Also, please check out Final Boss. Just dropped the Tenchu fucking teaser. I am all aboard on that. That is amazing. I didn't think that Final Boss was gonna drop, like, do a Tenchu drop ever. One of those games that I feel like if you're from the '90s, early 2000s, you played Tenchu.
So I remember it, but I had never played it.
That album art cover, or not that
Yeah.
the cover art for that game, because you saw it in every blockbuster you went. Holy, I remember
Oh
going to
yeah.
a blockbuster and like you had Tenchu, Crash Bandicoot, fucking Spyro, and all these other amazing games. And you had your Nintendo 64 and all that, and but it's just one of those like forgotten gems. Like an Oddworld. Oddworld was a huge game you would see in Blockbuster. The fucking case,
Yep.
2 to 4 disc or whatever it was. Um, but Tenchu, man, that game. I remember couldn't beat it when I was younger. Couldn't beat it. That game beat the shit out of me. But Final Boss is bringing Tenchu back. I'm here for that. So make sure you check out Final Boss and Doc Longy. Keep your eyes peeled to their pages. Also, please check out the Spawn Camp community. We play video games together. We watch movies. We watch television. There's D&D. There are you can plug your Twitch channels and plug your art. Just join, have a good time, show yourself off, make friends, have a good time. It's free. There are no paywalls with Fun Camp, WASD and Beyond. And while you're at it, please check out Brody's show Roll for Deception. I was talking much better before I hit that record button. I was
That's
fine.
the way she goes.
That is so dumb. Check out Roll for Deception. Brody, please explain what Roll for Deception is and when it's live.
Yeah, so Roll for Deception is a actual play D&D podcast. We've got two different campaigns going right now. One of them I am the DM in, and the other one our good friend Nick is the DM in, and I am a player. But we usually try to meet up every week. Summer and people on vacation and everything has kind of slowed us down a little bit, but we're planning on picking back up next week and hopefully having a pretty good run of not having to miss for a while. But yeah, we do typically weekly releases. They'll usually come out on Wednesdays, and it's a good time. It's a lot of fun. Hopefully, it's as much fun to listen to as it is to play, but who knows?
Like Critical Role.
Yeah, yeah. You know what? They might be a touch more professional than we
Okay,
are.
okay, but it's like listening to Kind of Funny and then listening to WASD, right? Like
Yeah.
sometimes you need to step away from. Well, Greg Miller's not always. I like what Greg does. I'm not trying to get under his fucking boots right now. Because when you get under that man's shit, dude, he fucking grinds and crushes you down. Um, Yeah, check out Roll for Deception. Obviously, WASD and Beyond drops every Friday at 5 a.m. and then Saturdays when I remember to upload on YouTube, which I'm gonna get better about. Actually, we had a bit of an issue last week with my internet. It kept cutting in and out during recording, and I stopped recording in Streamlabs, and then it started to work. And I was like, we're not
Oh,
jinxing this. We're just gonna keep it rolling, dude. And but yeah, check out the shows. Come join the Spawn Camp. Check out the sponsors. Brody
yeah.
played this, and I know
Not
the answer.
much. Not much at all. I was either traveling in North Carolina or working, so I have not touched much of anything at all. I played a little bit of Stellar Blade, probably another couple hours maybe. And then before I took off for North Carolina, I played some Diablo 4. And I think that's really about it. I took my Steam Deck and Switch with me, and I played my Steam Deck for a little bit on the plane, but not a whole lot because we didn't have like any really long flights. Everything was like a couple hours here and there. So about the time you get in the groove of something, it's about time to stop. And
Yeah,
so it was one of those deals. But yeah, and I slept a lot on planes. I don't know why. Planes make me sleepy.
yeah.
So yeah, no, I didn't play a whole lot. I want there's a bunch of stuff I want to get to, and it's on the list. I need to get back into some more Crypt Master,
Yes.
and we were just talking about a couple other games that we need to try before the show here, and lots of good stuff. Hopefully in the future. But what about you? What have you been playing?
Yeah, so definitely some Diablo 4 season 4. Season 4 has been a knockout hit for Blizzard. And for that game, it really needed this season. It really needed this so fucking bad, and I'm very, very happy that this is the Diablo we're getting now. Um, if Blizzard can continue it, that'd be great. But it is Blizzard, and we know that for every 2 steps forward, they take 5 steps. But yeah, a lot of Diablo, a lot of Counter Strike. I've been watching the IEM tournament, the Intel Extreme Majors, um, and both my teams got knocked out. So I am depressed, but that is fine. We continue forward. But I've been playing a lot of Counter Strike on top of that while watching that. So I've been kind of like watching how the pros are playing, like get myself back in the groove. Because I played 1.6, I played CS Source, and I was good when I was younger. It goes back to that age thing for me. Like, dude, you're fucking old. You don't have that. Motherfucker, I did just fine a couple nights ago. I was top fragging above Evan, and even he was shocked. It doesn't happen. Happen when you top frag above Evan and Julian. It doesn't happen. And that's where I was. So I know I still got it in me. But so Counter Strike, Diablo, and then I finally beat Crypt Master.
Yes.
Ooh, ooh, what a game!
What was your how much time did you have in it?
Crypt Master.
Yeah,
I
just out of
put
sheer curiosity.
it's probably a lot longer because like with a game like that, like I've seen people complete it in like 4 hours. 21 hours
Yeah.
total.
Did you really? Wow.
But
Okay.
I was doing a lot of the fishing. I was collecting a lot of bugs. I was doing the potions. I was playing a lot of whatever in the game,
Hmm.
the card game. I was having
Okay.
a blast playing. I honestly, dude, kind of hope like I hope there's a DLC for it of some sort, like
Yeah.
some sort of expansion to the game because this is such a fucking. Kind of hope they go the Gwent route with whatever is the name of their card game for those who don't know within the Crypt Master game. Um, it is a blast to play that game. I don't know how deep you've gotten into the card game yet, if at all.
I haven't even touched the card game yet.
Dude,
No.
just wait. It's addictive. It's super fun to play. You're gonna get frustrated, but that frustration leads to so many funny moments. Like it is awesome collecting the cards. It's awesome. You know, you fight bosses after certain events and then battle them in cards too, if you, and it's super fun. It makes sense, not overcomplicated. It's simple, but it's just so addictive. I spent a lot of time just playing that game, card game within the game. Um, that and like trying to find all the chests, all the rhyming skulls. Looking for Easter eggs. There's tons in this game. There's a whole section I didn't even really get to touch because I couldn't figure certain things out. there's like this East Library within this whole tower, and I I wanted I would go to each little area and I would read out the scroll or the book, and you could type an answer to it. Couldn't figure it out, so I got none of that complete. That's a whole section of the game possible, but I've just beaten the game, right? And I got the secret ending, which I won't spoil here. I was stoked on that. You literally get an achievement saying you got the secret ending, and I was like, that's super fucking sweet. Like
That's awesome.
it, it's phenomenal. If I had to give Cryptmaster rev- a final score, I'd give it a 9.5.
Hell yeah.
Probably give it a 9.5. The only thing really not getting it to that 10 mark, could have used a couple more levels to like going up. Your goal is to go up to the surface.
Right.
And like when you think there might be more, it's kind of very abrupt and it's like, oh hey, the game is done. I was like,
Mm.
oh man. God damn it. Like I want more. But it's awesome. The game is awesome. I highly recommend you guys check out Cryptmaster. Um, but yeah, that's pretty much about it. I mean, you and I got a lot of shit we actually got to touch on, right? Like we, thanks to Cameron from Apogee, we are going to be making content, streaming, or talking about on the show. A game called Questmaster, which
Yeah.
that's more in your wheelhouse, is it not?
It most definitely is. It's like a it's like a
Mario
almost
Maker almost.
Zelda. Yeah, yeah. I'm trying to, not not point Nintendo in their direction by any means, but
Oh shit!
no,
Yeah, no,
it's no. I don't. They don't have any ground to stand on. It's fine.
no.
But it's like an old school dungeon crawler, but it's where you make your own dungeons. So it is like your Mario Maker, where people are making levels. You could make whole campaigns if you wanted to.
So sweet.
And yeah, it's awesome. And people have kind of been clamoring for like a Zelda Maker type thing for a while now, and this is what it is. It looks great. I have not gotten a chance to play it yet, unfortunately. I just actually put our code in and downloaded it, so
Yes.
I will be trying that out probably over the weekend, and hopefully we'll be able to talk about it a little bit next week. But it's a
Uh,
game that.
I don't think next week we're gonna be. Well, if we
Oh
record
yeah, never mind.
Thursday for the week,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
we got something
Yeah,
cool
yeah, yeah.
planned for you guys. I promise. The week
But
after we'll probably talk about it.
then the week after I'll be able to talk about it. So yeah, it seems like it could be really really cool. I hope that people go out and pick it up and support it and put make a bunch of dungeons and stuff, and I really hope it has the legs to keep going because it seems like a great concept, and I'm glad somebody finally did it. So
Yeah,
uh,
dude.
like RPG Maker, but easier, I
Yeah.
guess in a way,
Oh
like,
yeah. Oh yeah.
and
Probably.
mainly just making dungeons. But I mean, it looks like old school Zelda dungeon crawler, and
That's
I'm
sweet.
stoked for it.
I was shocked when we got that email. Like, we're not known for that, right? Like, we're known for like FPS or like this or that. And then I got that email. I'm like, oh yeah, it's totally. Like, yeah, we'll do that.
Oh yeah, it's right up my alley. Like I'm all on board.
Like, I had to like send an email. I was like, you cool with two codes? Because this is like more up Brody's wheelhouse, but I also want. He's like, yeah, here you go. Hey, so thanks again, Cameron. That's awesome. Cameron from
Yeah,
Apogee Rules takes care of us. I need to play more Turbo Overkill. Brody needs to play at still, so that expect some content on that as well. The Night is Gray is another game we're gonna be talking about very in depth soon. I would say a couple weeks
yeah,
out, in which they know Whale Stork knows, but we are like I said, we're getting a press kit from them. We brought that
which
up.
is sweet.
Our first press kit. That's fucking amazing. Um, very excited that's going to be in the lair. We'll split the goodies. It's like a divorce. But so yeah, we
You
got a
can
lot.
keep the kids.
You keep the kids. You keep them. I'll take them on the weekends. But we got a lot of cool stuff happening, man. Like we're really grinding it out and keep doing that, man. We're getting codes
Yeah,
now. We're getting codes now, man.
we made it.
We made it. Yeah, if we don't adhere to our end of the bargain, we could probably get sued. But we're doing good. We've not signed anything that says that.
That is true.
If I'm lazy,
But
I'm
I
lazy.
also.
So no. We're very appreciative for everybody supporting us and constantly going, yeah, we'll give these two bucks. some fucking free shit, I guess. But yeah,
Hell yeah.
please check out Questmaster, Cryptmaster, The Night is Gray. Like all these fucking indie games coming out are smashing. Celico, we were bringing Celico up. That game looks phenomenal. I've been following it for a very long time. Good shit, everybody. Thank you. Let's get all together destroy quadruple A gaming.
So Skull and
S-
Bones,
Yeah, suck my
just
dick,
Skull and
Ubisoft.
Bones.
Suck my fucking dick. I don't give a fuck about the next Assassin's Creed. Speaking of
No.
triple A, quadruple A, whatever you want to call it nowadays, let's hop into today's topic, which is the
Yes.
state of play. Okay, you want to go through the games first, or do you want to grade it first? Talk about how you felt about it.
Let's go through the games
Okay,
first and grade it at the end.
you want me to start? Or do you want to start?
I Doesn't matter to me. I'll go ahead and roll with it. So
Yeah.
the first game we saw was Concord from Firewalk, which was kind of shown off briefly a while ago. I don't remember exactly when that was.
Summer
Um,
Games Fest, right?
I think so. Last year, yeah. Um, so it was a huge like little, I guess not huge little, but it was a trailer of sorts, like a little bit of a story bit
Yeah.
that they dropped. It was probably, man, it was probably about 5 minutes or so of this kind of just story in this world. And when they first started showing it off, it made it look like it was gonna be a story-based game, and I entirely forgot what this game was. But no, this game is actually a 5v5 first-person shooter, very much in the vein of an Overwatch hero shooter, your Marvel Rivals, the games that Valve is working on, like
I'm going to talk about that in a minute.
a little bit of a flooded market to be sure. But they did talk about like this vignette is what they were calling it or referring to this little video as. They're going to release this pretty much every week. They're going to have a new vignette that they're going to show off, kind of creating story in the world, which I think is actually kind of a cool concept. It reminds me of when Overwatch released those like 15-minute videos of like story bits where they'd have like McCree or Reinhardt or whatever it was, and it or not McCree, sorry. What the fuck is his name now?
Cassidy.
Cassidy. Yeah, Cassidy, Reinhardt, all of those. And they kind of built up the world and created lore, even though it is just a hero shooter, more or less. Um, and their approach to this was kind of interesting. I feel like I'm kind of droning on about this a touch, but the vignette that they showed was very much Guardians of the Galaxy, like
Yeah.
almost to a T. Which parts of it worked very well, and other parts of it I felt were pretty forced. But it kind of had a cool concept, and as they continued to show more and more of the characters, I'm like, oh fuck, this is just straight up Overwatch. You got your Widowmaker, you've got your Reinhardt,
Got
you've
your
got like whatever
Cassidy.
it is. Yeah, your Cassidy, like but this is coming out August 23rd. I don't know how much room there is for a game like this, especially if it's only going to be on PlayStation. I
I
do
thought it was
not
PC as well.
foresee. Was it on PC?
Yeah, I believe
I
so.
meant to look it up, but I ran out of time. But yeah, definitely in a world where we have Overwatch, which regardless of where that is right now, it's still there. You have Overwatch, you have Valorant, you have Marvel Rivals that is coming out pretty soon, which that one grabs my attention just because I'm a Marvel slut.
Are you?
No, no, no. Um, and the one that Valve's working on, I'm drawing
Deadlock.
a blank of Deadlock. So I just don't know how much room there is for something like this, but I thought overall the vignette that they put out there looked kind of cool, and then they showed the actual gameplay, and I don't know, maybe.
Okay.
Some, yeah, have at it, buddy.
The cinematics were beautiful.
Yeah,
From the bar scene to they drop it and the ship rises up. That felt very Guardians to me. I think that shot for shot almost a Guardians game. Um
Concord is coming to PC, by the way. Sorry,
Sweet.
I just wanted to throw that out there. I don't know if it's gonna be day and date, but it is coming.
It doesn't look bad. Here's the problem. You do have Valve releasing 6v6 game that does more than this game is going to be, right? Like, there are going to be people who don't want to play Deadlock. This game has a fighting chance. Then again, depending on when Valve releases Deadlock, will want to play a Valve game. It doesn't matter what it is. They're going to play a game made by Valve. This game
Yeah,
could very well be the next Horizon Zero Dawn by releasing the shadow of a game, which I hope it isn't, man. It looks cool. It does look very samey Overwatch, but with these games, I feel terrible saying Overwatch clone. I feel shit saying shit like that, but they're hero shooters. You get what you get. They are what they are. And this looks, it has Sony money, so it does look pretty. It looks polished from what we saw. I was really excited to actually see gameplay. That was a
yeah,
12-minute presentation just for that game. And if they had only shown what we were seeing, the vignette thing, the ever-changing story, I like that a lot. Now, my
I
problem
do too.
is, are they going to keep up with that? Are they going to stick with it? Because very often you'll see companies say this. This is how it's going to be. This is the game. And then it
They'll do it for
goes
like
for
3 months, and
exactly. So I don't want to. I don't want to get bait and switched with that. If you're gonna do this, commit to it. This could be something really cool that could make you stand out. How very much how Deadlock is going to stand out with its MOBA style of gameplay for it, and with the hero shooter and the tower defense and the soul collecting. And you could do something cool with this game, Concord. And I hope it just doesn't become another hero.
the other thing about this game too is what is the price point going to be? Because if it's when you look at the PC landscape, it's like you have Valorant, which is free. Like
Apex
I
Legends, which is free.
right, which yeah, a little different vein, but still similar, right? And I think they even have almost more like a hero shooter mode at this point,
Yeah.
or more like an arena shooter, I guess. But yeah, I just that price point could be a killer on something like this, unfortunately. And they right out the get go, they say you can go ahead and pre-order starting like I think it
The
was June
6th.
6th or
Yeah.
something like that. And you get a cosmetic, and you get it was a beta access for you and 4 friends, which I thought that was actually kind of cool.
I like that.
I think that's a good idea. If you're trying to really set yourself aside from everybody else in the market. Like, let other people play the fucking game.
Yeah,
I think
I
it's
mean,
cool.
that's what I wish Valve did with Deadlock. But again, here
Yeah.
with Deadlock, I bring that up because that's going to be free to play.
Right. And that's the other thing is, I mean, a free to play hero shooter that is high quality is 9 times out of 10 gonna fucking win. Like Overwatch is
It's
free to play
coming
now,
from
right?
Valve.
Like, and that's coming from Valve. It's like you can't come into the space and be like, you got to pay us $40. Like, it's just
Exactly.
not gonna work. That's not what this genre does. That's not you have to keep up with the competition, but I also know how Sony is, and Sony is probably going to want to charge something for this, whether it be $30, $40.
Which I
If they charge
understand.
60, yeah, and I get it too, right? But yeah, if they charge $60, $70, good
Dead on
fucking
arrival.
luck.
Dead
It'll
on
be
arrival.
dead immediately.
Dude,
So,
what a waste of money. Um, Again, from what we're seeing, it does look neat. Looks pretty. And it looks polished. We're seeing what they're showing us. I'm guaranteeing when the beta hits, this shit's gonna be a fucking mess. But
yeah.
it's good that it's a mess right then and there. Whatever. So yeah, Concord, pretty cool. Looks exciting. Cinematic was pretty. That's where
Mhm.
I'll leave that. I can't believe you let me do this one. God of War Ragnarok's coming to PC. We're not shocked, but that's still sweet that we got confirmation, right? Uh, it's gonna have DLSS, FSR, super ultra wide support. The Valhalla DLC is included, and it's coming out September 19th. Like,
Yeah.
hey, Sony, thank you, thank you. Good, good.
The only thing they could have done better is release it on PC earlier.
Yeah, yeah. Let's not pretend we need to keep optimizing things. Just get a team dedicated. Don't I don't. whatever.
I was gonna say, to be fair, the Sony games that come to PC usually are a nightmare. So
Yeah, dude, The Last of Us.
yeah. No, this is awesome. I'm excited. I probably will not play through it again. I just
I'm
I'm not
happy for
that person.
people. I'm
Yeah,
happy
I'm
for
happy.
Final Boss. He gets
Oh
to
yeah,
play now.
yeah.
Like,
I know there's a few people in the server too that are
just
have
waiting.
been waiting for it to come, which is awesome, right? Like,
John's waiting.
yep. John was exactly who came to mind, right?
Yep.
And so, no, this is awesome. I'm excited to see it, and I've got it. Look gorgeous. It looks so good.
Fuck, dude. I just want to. I spent so much money on this fucking rig. I do want to see that bitch run on my computer once, but I don't want to spend that money.
Yeah, I just can't. I can't justify purchasing it again because I know I will not play it.
Fucking god, god
Even though
damn it.
watching the trailer was kind of one of those moments where I'm like, God, you see like bits and pieces as things happen. I'm like, oh, like when a Atreus shoots the arrow up and it changes
Oh,
from day to night. I'm like, the first time that fucking happens, you're like, holy shit.
dude, that's the cool thing. I think that like Sony is capturing though. A lot of those like gotcha moments. I
Hmm.
remember seeing that shit for the first time when we all watched it together. We were like, whoa, 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 God of War, like God of War 2, like. But now, like seeing it come out for PC, it's like you're seeing those trailers all over again, but like you're seeing them with a little bit of
Context.
seeing it with context, but you're also seeing it on a PC.
Yeah.
Here's the thing: we can argue all day and night as gamers. You have a good PC, chances are it's better than the PlayStation you have, and it's better than the
Oh,
Xbox you have.
absolutely.
So that means that when these games come out on PC, they're gonna look and run better, and you're gonna have unlimited frames. Like
Hmm.
God of War, Ragnarok, uncapped. That's what I want to play. But I did play it on my 120 hertz 70-inch TV though. That looked good. It was only at
Yeah.
60 frames. I was like, oh, come on. Come on, come on, do something. But yeah, God of War Ragnarok's coming to PC as of September 19th. Stoked, pumped.
The next one we saw was Dynasty Warriors Origins. I wasn't entirely sure what this was going to be right off the get go. I was like, it looks like Dynasty Warriors, and I
Yeah.
actually wrote that down as my note. And then it popped up the title, and it's like Dynasty
Oh,
Warriors Origins. I'm like, oh no, it's just straight up Dynasty Warriors. I These games are fun, but it is very much like I have to be in the mood for them, or I really liked like the Zelda one that they did. I played through the Fire Emblem one that they did. Like I like the ones that have IP tied to them. But I know there was quite a few people that were pretty excited about it in the server, and good for them. It looks great. I mean, it looked gorgeous for what it is, and these Dynasty Warrior games really do have a certain place for sure. Like if you just want to go on a complete and absolute power trip, oh yeah.
yeah. Um, it looked awesome. I did the same shit you did. I was typing it out, and I'm like, oh, it's Dynasty Warriors, I think. And then I kept going. I'm like, oh, yeah, it is Dynasty Warriors. So I finished like the word, and I was like, it looks good, man. I never got into Dynasty Warriors. It just wasn't a game that captured me for some reason. I'd always watch like my uncle Keith play Dynasty Warrior games. I've watched all my friends play them, and I'm like, it looks cool. Like, and
Hmm.
I know you can do these awesome grand battles and like a lot of enemies fighting your dudes at once, and like it's hot. Not my game, unfortunately. But I'm not gonna take away from it. It looked badass,
Oh yeah,
and it looked
absolutely.
gorgeous. Like it looked spectacular. And if you're a Dynasty Warriors fan, I think you're eating. I think you're eating well with this game.
Yeah,
That
I
that,
would say so.
that comes out in 2025 at some point, right?
Yeah, it just said 2025, so I would assume probably later
Yeah,
if I
holiday
had to
maybe.
guess. Otherwise, they probably would have put spring, but yeah,
Yeah,
I would say fall to holiday season 2025.
cool, cool. Um,
Oh, you got the fun one.
you know what I wrote down here? I had to step away. I said missed the Weeb game.
Oh, very good. So I guess it is mine still. Fuck. Infinity Nikki.
Okay.
Apparently, I didn't know this. This was from reading comments on something. This is another game in a franchise. I
Okay.
think the games are. Or I think the franchise is called Nikki Love or Love Nikki or something of that. I have no fucking idea. Uh, it looks like some sort of a kind of cutesy 3D platformer, but also like a fashion show
I'm
of
so glad I
some sort.
walked away.
I have no fucking idea what this is. I have zero interest in this. I am not sure who this game is for, but hey, more power to you. If you're looking forward to Infinity Nikki, it will be out as a test in Q3 2024.
Have fun. Walked away, and me and the final boss were making little jokes at it, going, "Up, here's some more weeb shit." If you're a weeb, thanks for listening. That's fine. We like you too. But these games are not and never will be something for me.
It just had a weird tone to it where it was like a lot of like snapshot things going on, and it kept like it would zoom in on different characters. It was fucking just strange as hell and felt incredibly out of place in all of this state of play.
Yeah, dude. If you want that game, it's coming. Uh,
Pre-ordered it already. I'm just
I'll kill you, dude. The next game we got is the Ballad of Antara, dark fantasy action RPG looking game. Uh, Looked cool. There was a couple of moments I was looking, and I'm like looking at this game, like you could have just like maybe just put Bloodborne on PC and announced that instead of this. Bloodborneum, bro.
yeah.
Bloodborneum. It looked good though. There was a few, I like there's definitely a couple moments I was like, oh, that's cool. Like this is pretty neat. And but again, it's just one of those things I'm looking at. I'm like, I don't think this is gonna be really a for me game either. It's very. It looked some of it looked a lot Final Fantasy with how the character faces looked here and
Yeah.
there. But like there were some. I'm looking at it again right now. There are some pretty beautiful environments. It looks like it's gonna be pretty dark. The monster design looks really cool. The weapons look really cool. Um, but again, it's just it looks good. But it's just a game that I think a lot of people are gonna like, but unfortunately not in that demographic, which sucks.
I I think the biggest thing about these kinds of games, like I think stylistically it looks fantastic, and
Yeah,
I think graphically what they showed of it already was really really cool because they did actually have some gameplay in this as well.
yeah,
The monster designs are fucking awesome, like just gnarly looking. Um, the biggest thing is it appeared to be kind of Souls like in a way,
yeah,
and the biggest problem with anything that tries to replicate a Souls game is getting that combat and that feel correct, um, which is incredibly difficult to actually do,
yeah. If you're not
as
from,
we've
yeah,
seen many, many times. Yeah, this is definitely one of those games that I'll probably keep an eye on if it comes to PC. If it's on PlayStation, there's a probably a 0% chance that I will play it if it's
those
only there.
poor
So
those poor consoles. Yeah. What a bad fucking cycle. Sorry.
it just it genuinely hasn't been great, and I can't be fucked to go and sit at my PlayStation for
It's
most
right
games. Like,
behind you. It's
yeah,
literally.
it I sit in this chair right behind me and play, but it's like I just can't.
My Xbox is for
But
my son to play Goat Sim 3 on. Like,
Uh, it looks cool. Like if it
yeah,
ends up coming to PC or something, I may keep an eye on it a little bit more closely and may end up picking it up eventually, especially if people actually say it feels good, because that's
yeah.
again the biggest thing. It has to feel good. It can be as pretty as it wants to be, but if it doesn't master that feel, if it is truly going for the Souls like, and that's just from watching a trailer, right? I have no idea whether it's actually going to be a Souls like or not, but um yeah, we'll see, man. I hope more people can get that locked down, but it is just such a hard thing. Like
It is.
FromSoft is in a league of their own on that.
There's a formula to it, man. They've mastered the formula. Not always perfect, right? Like Dark Souls 2 was. I'm leaving it there because I'm not trying to fucking kick a beehive, but it's FromSoft. That's their bread and butter, right?
Yeah.
Cool, not my thing. So, you got a cool one coming up actually right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I got Behemoth from Skydance. So this was like a VR medieval combat adventure. Just when you thought PSVR 2 was dead, they gave us two games. Uh, but this one does look really good. I was actually a little, and it's always hard with Sony's state of plays because they never say whether it's coming to anything else. They only say PlayStation every
Yeah,
time on there. Every once in a while, it'd be like, oh, and PC.
yeah,
But
like an
they're
afterthought.
usually yeah. Um, but it was very medieval. Everything looked to be very responsive. The character you're playing as has like a grappling hook, so you can throw weapons and then grappling hook your weapons back to you. And it showed that a couple different times. I almost wonder if this won't be exclusive for PSVR because the way everything moved, it looked like it was using eye tracking
Yes.
because of how smooth everything was. Instead of turning your whole head and having that kind of jarring feeling, which obviously you're watching a stream of somebody playing it, so it's kind of hard to tell
It's smoothed
exactly,
out.
but it was very, very smooth to the point that I think it was using a lot of eye tracking to do a lot of those things. And if that, which of course the PSVR 2 is, kind of leading that space right now. But man, it was a cool looking game, and especially after as of that game that came out last year.
What game?
The VR medieval
Blade and Sorcerer? No, Blade and
no,
Sorcerer.
it's
It was-
regardless. I can't think of it at the moment, but it's something Wrath too.
Oh, with Troy Baker as like one of the gods or whatever.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
one.
I know what you're talking about.
But people fucking loved that game. Like
Really? Because
really, really highly spoke of it. And it
remember, I shit
was
all over it when I saw it. I was like, "This looks like garbage."
yeah. People love it. And it's a full blown like 120-hour game if I remember correctly, which is a lot of time to spend in a VR headset. Um
I Half-Life Alex made me
Asgard's
sick.
Wrath, that's what it was.
Okay,
Asgard's
gotcha.
Wrath too. Um, but yeah, I don't know how in depth this is going to be, but it does seem to be instead of we're finally getting to that point where a lot of the VR games are no longer just tech demos, and a lot of them are actually games,
Yeah.
and it is cool to see that kind of start to happen. And it seems like this is going to be a full blown adventure where you're actually moving through levels and taking care of like actual combat rather than just having oh here's 14 guys fucking kill them all.
Yeah. Dude,
So
the
it was cool.
scale of the monsters that you see in that game in VR, that's gonna be gnarly.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna be so sick. This game looks really cool. I don't own a PSVR 2, so might not be. But it's cool. If you have PSVR 2, I highly recommend you get Behemoth. Behemoth looks to be that game that it's gonna be another uh forefront to VR. And I do like the full arms. It
Hmm.
VR can be very
Disorienting with just your hands and
no, it takes you like I loved Half-Life Alex.
yeah.
First Half-Life game I got in 13, 14 years. I'm here for it. I'm gonna love it no matter what it did. But just having the hands, there were times where I was like, dude, if I could at least have the arms somehow, like see the full, motion. This is cool because your guy, you could like see like everything rotating and like when you're doing the grapple hook, you pull. Like it was really cool to see all that animation. Um,
Yeah.
that's what I'm hoping to see further down the line. Speaking of VR, we got Alien Rogue Incursion. They spent no time showing us this game.
It was all of maybe 15 seconds. It was wild.
I was
I
stoked.
might have been a touch longer, but not
Oh,
much.
dude, like a fucking dick hair longer, man. It looked cool. The alien itself looked really good.
Yeah.
From what I could tell, but they didn't show anything. Like holiday 2024 is when that's coming out. I'm excited. I'm assuming that will be on Steam.
Yeah,
It's
probably.
Fox title. It's Disney. They're not gonna let Sony say. So, but A- Alien in VR is going to be terrifying. That's what I like.
Oh
I
yeah.
would love like an isolation. Did they do isolation in VR?
I don't believe so.
Ah, that would be fucked if they did. That game is not only is it difficult, but it is terrifying when you fuck up in that. That Xeno is just fucking creeping, dude. And I didn't know for a long time that if you have a microphone, it could use your mic. Like that game fucking rules. So Alien Incursion, Rogue Incursion looks sick. What I saw, it's an Alien game. I have the literal Alien vs Predator back piece. I'm gonna get it no matter what. So yeah, there's that.
Just for reference here, Behemoth is also coming to MetaQuest and Steam VR. I did just look that up.
Dude, I would love
So,
to play that on the Index
oh yeah,
with the finger tracking. That's where that's where they got it on that finger tracking. Those controllers.
it is pretty cool. Yeah. I can't seem to find anything as far as whether Ballad of Antara is coming to. I've seen some that say multiple platforms and some that just say PC. So, I wish Sony would just fucking put them all in there. It is kind of frustrating. I understand why they don't, but it's still fucking annoying.
Fucking Sony. It's
Yeah.
that's just what the fuck it is.
Yeah, this one says revealed for PS5 and other unannounced platforms. So I don't know. We'll see.
It,
This next one we'll just touch on super briefly because there wasn't a whole lot here. Marvel Rivals showed some more characters, showed some more gameplay. There's going to be a closed beta on the PS5 in July, and then the PS5 version of this game is going to have an exclusive Scarlet Spider costume. Bastards.
yeah, I know you like Scarlet Spider. So
I do. It's not the right one though, so it's okay. It
right.
wasn't Kane. It
Oh,
was it was Ben Riley,
The
I
Galactus,
think.
the Galactus reveal. I was like, what's going on here?
I think that character that I can't remember it, yeah, because it's a female Galactus of some sort, and I think
Yeah.
it appeared in like one comic one time or something like that.
Oh man, you better be careful, man. Those Marvel nerds are gonna fucking actually, and we're nerds. Like
Actually, yeah.
we have long boxes. We do comic guys too, but like I don't remember everything about every fucking comic. I just fucking don't. So whatever. Marvel Rivals is cool. I know Final Boss was in the beta, and they were going to get me in, and then I was going to get you in. It was a whole thing, and then it ended, and it is what it is. But we didn't get to get it. It is what it is. I ain't holding it again. You,
Uh,
are you writing the wrong
her
shit?
name is Galacta,
Okay.
and I think she has appeared in less than 10 issues. It looks like.
Okay, so then I
It's a
don't think.
non-canon joke character who appeared in less than 10 issues.
Then why in the Marvel Rival? Booba. Booba. There you go. I'm joking, by the way. I am on the podcast. I'm joking. I'm not that guy. So I just dug myself off. I did. We have Where Winds Meet, which was a open world RPG s game, if I remember correctly, samurai esque looking game.
Yes, they did a very terrible job of representing this game, though.
Yes.
Because for a second I thought it was just an arena fighter, and then I was like, "Oh, maybe it's just like a Souls-like boss rush type of thing." And then, yeah, if you look it up, it's actually a open world RPG, and you're like,
Why the
"Oh,
fuck you market this?
okay." I was like, maybe just a little bit of something here, but yeah, no, they didn't give a shit on this. I will say it looked cool.
It looked pretty.
It looked really cool. It's like a almost a mystical like Japanese setting.
Yeah.
Um and but yeah, no release date, not a whole lot of information on the game. It was just kind of a pretty trailer more or less with some gameplay.
Yeah. Let me do this one. That way
Okay.
you do the next one, I do the one after that, and then you get the next one.
Yeah, I
See?
like it.
Okay.
Yeah, I see
Until
what you did.
yeah, Until Dawn is coming to PC. That is fall 2024. It was a game I played on the PS4. I liked it a lot on PS4. I had a really good time with Until Dawn. The different endings, you can kill off some character. It was a cool concept. It looks really pretty on PC from what they're showing off. Evan made a good point. He was like, I wonder if they'll hopefully change up some of the scares and some of the certain things before he played the game. I don't know if they will. It'd be cool if they did. Like if they just changed some aspects of it up enough to be a little different. I don't think they're going.
I don't think they
I
will.
think they just prettied it up and like optimized it is what
Yeah.
I'm thinking here. Um, but it looked great. I mean, it looked good when it came out on the PS4. Like all the actors who were being represented in that game looked great, right. So
Mhm.
it's a cool game. If you haven't played Until Dawn and you want to, and you didn't have a PlayStation, you could play it on PC this fall. So get ready.
Yeah, I think I get the original version free on
Yes.
one of the monthly, if I remember correctly. But I the new or this remake actually looks really, really good, and
It
I do
does.
have it in my Steam wish list right now because I'm like, you know what, I'll check it out.
It's a fun
That was
game.
after, I think that was after Terabytes when I started going down the rabbit hole of like horror
Oh,
games, and I was like, we could maybe do this.
check out our buddies on Terabytes and please support them.
Yeah. But yeah, not a whole lot to say about it. But yeah, I imagine it's going to be the same story. So if you've already experienced it, mm,
Don't there's no point if you've already played.
unless you're like me and then forget everything the next day, it's like a whole new world.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Path of Exile 2 is gonna enter early access in late 2024. So if you don't know what Path of Exile is, it's Diablo-esque. But very, very cool. It's done exceptionally well. Because Path of Exile 2 is already out on PC currently, but I believe this will be the first appearance of it on console. So it is going to include couch co-op, cross-play, cross-progression. It is. Oh no, it is not out yet. Sorry, I'm a
I thought it
liar.
was in early access on PC.
Yeah, I think it might be early access. Regardless,
Everything's in
it
early
is
access.
everything's early access. Yeah, Path of Exile, the first one was very well received. People do seem to really like that game. The second one looks fantastic. It looks like they took everything they learned from the first one and just improved it. And I am excited to try it out. It is most definitely going to be something I would probably prefer to play on PC, but
Yes.
definitely. But Diablo games are or Diablo style games like that are very easy to play on console as well. I prefer to play it on PC.
I'm gonna crank the settings up all the way on PC and literally watch how this world looks. Path of Exile 2 looks awesome. I didn't play really the first one. I watched it on Twitch a lot.
Mhm.
Um, but I like Path of Exile. I like that it feels a lot more like Diablo 2. The UI is absolutely beautiful for a game like that. Looks fluid. The game looked really good as well. These games tend to look really good anyways, but this looks really fucking good. So yeah, Path of Exile on PS5. If you want to play that game, if you like Diablo, get Path of Exile too. This is a must-have if you like Diablo.
And it's free to play.
Dude, it's Path of Exile, baby.
Yeah, I mean, you can't really go wrong there.
No,
And
no.
the co-op is up to 6 players.
Yeah, Diablo's only 4,
Hmm.
but you can have a clan with. Don't get me started. We need Isles. Guild Wars did it. Okay, Guild
Right?
Wars did it way back when. Give us a fucking make us load into a different. Stop! 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 Um, this next game is we have Resident Evil remakes at home, honey. Um, just kidding. It's Silent Hill 2 remake, and it looks like
Shit.
dog shit. Well, I don't. Where the fuck do I begin? Wow, this looks like shit. I wasn't a big Silent Hill fan to begin with. Really not. I'm a Resident Evil guy. Always been a Resident Evil fan. But I did look up character models from Silent Hill 2. Compare and contrast. whoa, they fucked that chick up.
Yeah.
Whoa, that looks, her character model looks terrible. And not only terrible, not consistent. One minute it looks like
No.
her face got stung by a bee, and then the next minute it's a little bit slender. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing to this
Yeah.
franchise? It's not, to me, they were always boring. Like, it's cool. They're cool. My wife loves Silent Hill. I like Resident Evil. But this is not a.
It looks bad. It looks real bad.
You look at Resident Evil remakes, go, holy shit. This engine is beautiful. They've added more shit to these games. It looks phenomenal. 2, 3, 4, and then you got 7 and 8. Those Resident Evil games look fucking phenomenal. I don't know how you can be okay being the company that you are with the IP that you're re-releasing and it looking like that and it running like that in a fucking conference. Atrocious. Fucking atrocious. And I'm very glad that I'm not a Silent Hill fan, because if I was, I'd be like everyone else online right now going, this is bullshit. Is there anything you wanted to add to that? Sorry, man. That looks like fucking ass.
No, I have quite literally nothing else to add to it because that is that was my exact thoughts. I have no love for the franchise. I have no dog in the fight. I genuinely don't care. It just looked bad.
I'm bummed for this. They've been waiting.
Yeah,
I am
yeah, yeah,
bummed for Silent Hill fans. I don't want. I wanted this to be good so I can be like, okay, maybe I'll hop into Silent Hill now. Like, I'll check it out. I watched my uncle play, but then he went, this is not Resident Evil. I want to play Resident Evil. Like, I was stoked. Then I saw this, and again, when we first saw it, I was like, I don't know. And now we're seeing it. I'm like, oh, dude, fuck that dumpster fire piece of shit. Like, but
yeah.
I'm saying it because you could tell there's no love in that shit. Just looks like
Oh no,
they,
it's soulless
yeah,
for sure.
yeah, dude. So I guess if you're excited for that, thumbs up. But
More power to you, I suppose.
looks like dog shit.
It
and
looks
it
bad.
looks like it runs like dog shit.
Yeah.
You for this next one, I'm gonna obviously let you hit it. There are some things I wanted to bring up with this.
Okay.
Okay, so
Yeah,
you
absolutely.
hit it.
Monster Hunter Wilds gameplay trailer. We originally just saw a theatrical trailer, just kind of showing off what it was and a little bit of the general concept behind it. Was that Game Awards? I
Yes.
think so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's how they ended the Game Awards.
Yeah, I do believe so. I think it was the last thing there. And this is coming in 2025 still. We still don't have any more information other than that. I think a lot of the speculation is probably spring or very early 2025, hopefully. Um, Listen, I fucking love me some Monster Hunter.
I know.
I do enjoy me some Monster Hunter. I didn't really get into it until Worlds. Played quite a bit of Worlds on Xbox. Ended up uh, dropping it at some point. Ended up picking up Monster Hunter Rise on Switch. Played quite a bit of that. Went back and played Worlds again on PC. Uh, I am stupid excited for this game. Uh,
Okay.
this is probably my most anticipated game for the foreseeable future. I really, really, really want more Monster Hunter. World is still fun to go back to, but it has its quirks and things that it did not do well that I think Rise did a little bit better. And I know I see it in your face. You want to shit on it. I see it. I see
I'm so sorry, man. It looked like it wasn't optimized. It looked like they brought it out the conference. State of play. I shouldn't call this a con. State of play. Maybe it was just how it looked really
No,
choppy.
you're 100% right.
It looked
Yeah, it was
really
choppy.
choppy.
It's
And
also a year away though, so
yeah,
I
that's
I
what
I
I'm not
am a
trying.
little bit of like,
I'm not trying to fuck it, but I'm just saying, like, it looked really choppy. A lot of the character models to me at some points looked really chunky. Like, not like physically, I'm saying like graphically chunky. Like a lot of the
Mm.
hair looked a little because I've seen
Worlds
Worlds, and there's
or
points
Rise. I mean, either way.
whatever, but it looked beautiful. Like when I loaded that up, this I was like, oh man, like I really hope they can reel this back, and it just
So
be presented like that. I was like, damn, dude, really? Like this is how we're gonna let this come out? That wise?
there is trying to figure out how to say this without just sounding like
I
a
want you to
fucking
prove me wrong.
fanboy.
I want you to
No,
prove
no,
me
no, no, no. I there is an element of Monster Hunter games that is you do just kind of deal with some of that. Like that is
Vaseline on the
it
camera
come
lens.
a little bit.
Okay. The old porn trick,
It
by
yeah.
the way. Sorry.
Uh it, at the end of the day, it is a Capcom game, and
Yeah.
Capcom is not exactly known for the greatest graphics in the world. Like even the Resident Evil remakes, like there's an element to those where you're like, something's just a little off, right?
Yeah.
And Monster Hunter does that, but even more so because they do tend to focus more on the performance because those fights, in my mind, they have mastered the feel of fights in a similar way that Dark Souls has, right? Where
Yeah.
they FromSoft has of that combat, mastering that style of combat. Um, so, but I will also say they have notoriously had bad ports of their games to PC at launch. I do believe Worlds was in pretty bad shape when it came out to PC. I think Rise seemed to be okay though, but that was also a very different art style. It was like a more cartoony, I suppose. Um, so I do have my hesitations for sure, and I noticed it as well. It was a
Okay.
little bit choppy here and there, especially like when you get used to playing on PC and you get used to much better frame rates. You notice it. I know
Jarring.
people are like,
It is jarring. You're like,
yeah. I know people are, the common thing is always, oh, you can't anything over 30 is bullshit, and it's like, no. Once you play at 120 frames, good fucking luck saying that ever
dropping
again.
down to 60, you're like, ugh, 60? What do you mean I'm at
Ugh, this is
60?
gross.
That's you know what though? That's the funny thing with consoles. They're like 60 frames. I'm like, hey,
Yay.
cool.
Uh, yeah, no, I did not spend the money on my PC to get fucking 60 frames. Fuck off.
Boom, baby.
But no, absolutely. It does leave me a little bit concerned on some things, especially the PC port, because they have had a history of some issues there. But I do hope it does seem like this is going to be a simultaneous release, day and date across the board type of deal. And I do hope that the next year is hopefully a lot of optimization and making sure that that stuff is right because those kinds of games, if you have frame stutters or anything of that nature, I mean, that's the difference between winning a fight against
Breaks your
a
game,
fucking,
right?
yeah, between winning a very knockdown, brutal fight to begin with or losing it, right? So it is, that is, I care way more about that final frame rate and the overall performance than I do the actual look of it. I thought the character models looked mostly pretty good. Hair
Yeah,
is
yeah,
notoriously like a hard thing for people to do.
yeah.
And even, something like Stellar Blade, which spent a shitload of time on like the hair physics, and it's actually even touted like, oh, this is some of the best hair physics I've ever seen. Still clips through shit. Like, there's still those issues. Hair is just a nightmare to actually program, right? But I did notice that too, like the chick with the gigantic, like,
Yeah.
crazy curly hair. It seemed like a block of hair. Um, so but I will say it looked very pretty, especially for a Capcom game, especially for a Monster Hunter game. What they did show, it was a um very good looking game for something of that nature because those typically are just not that. And so I am excited to see what it is. I hope they have fixed a lot of the issues that I had with Worlds and Rise and really capitalize on it. And it seems like what we have seen so far, they are pushing in that direction. But yeah, no, I had the same reservations, but I'm also so stupid excited I was willing to overlook them. So
You could release Half-Life 3 and it's just Gordon on a toilet, and I'd be like, "This is like a 10 out of 10, perfect game. It's the greatest
yeah,
game ever." Um,
yeah,
no, I'm happy that Monster Hunter is still like a game that exists because this is
oh
such a
yeah,
beloved franchise for a lot of people, right? And I saw that and I was like, "There, guarantee this is a performance above quality thing." Like,
yes, oh
so like
absolutely,
I guarantee when the game comes out on at least on PlayStation, like, whoa, this is running great and beautiful, and then PC will take a couple of months to really optimize, which is what it is. It's a console game, in my opinion. Definitely a game that you most people will play on their consoles.
yeah.
Game for me, like Dark Souls, Elden Ring, other games where I am going to use a
Oh yeah,
like
there is a 0% chance I would play mouse and keyboard on a Monster Hunter game. Like
right.
that's insanity. That's like the people that play mouse and keyboard on Rocket League. Like you are out of your goddamn minds.
No, fuck that. And we have some people who are like Mario is like champion.
Yeah,
Like Logan is like
something like
right
that.
there too. Like they're
I think he might even be grand champ, but yeah.
dude, like we have some dudes in that server who are. I was like, "Can I play with a keyboard?" They're like, "Are you fucking stupid?" I went, "Holy shit!" I was like, "I don't fucking know, dude." Oh man. Yeah, Monster Hunter. I'm happy it exists.
I am very happy it exists, and I
So
I think it's actually even probably more popular than it's ever been. I would say maybe Rise lost a little bit of that because it was Switch exclusive first and yada yada yada, but it did eventually come to PC and other consoles. And but yeah, I think this will bring a lot of people back because it is back to the realistic style. It looks like it keeps a lot of the quality of life stuff from Rise, where you could ride. There was a Palamute in Rise, but it looks like you can ride different monsters and help you traverse a little bit quicker and get to
which
where
would
you
be
need to
nice.
go. And so, I I'm stoked. I think there's only like a couple other people in the server that'll play it with me, but
Steve
I'm going to be
Goodnick,
lost to it for a long time.
somewhere in Chicago, Ed's ears fucking were perking up.
Yeah,
So, no, it's sweet, man. The last game actually gave me a really awesome moment with my son today.
hell
Upstairs
yeah,
we have the PlayStation set up on the big TV, and on that PlayStation, the only thing that has ever played is Astro's Playground. And I love that game. I remember when I got my PlayStation 5, that was the first thing I played on it. I was like, man, like, the haptic feedback and like the like shaking the controller and you could hear little Astros in there. I was like, this is sick
hmm
as fuck. Now my son plays Astro. He loves it. He's able to like do the puzzles. He's able to find all the puzzle pieces and all the fun little things you could do within Astro's Playground. I had this on my monitor and it was going through the monitor speaker. So he heard Astro go, woo! And all of a sudden I hear these little feet just go, Astro! I'm like, it is Astro. And he hopped up on my lap and we watched Astro Bot game. Own single player game. This is the mascot for the PlayStation now, in my opinion. You know,
yeah,
the for everybody mascot, right?
hmm
Um, this game looks awesome. It looks like such a fun time.
yeah,
Game for everybody, for your kids, for your adults. Like, I'm anytime an Astro game is going to come out for my son and for myself, I will buy this game. It looks super awesome. And the Kratos meme, the Horizon meme, Easter egg that was just like right there.
Rappa the
Horizon,
Rappa,
dude, Parappa, like, dude, like that's sick as shit. Like it's
yeah,
all there. Like they're having fun with it, which I think is super important. But it looked beautiful.
hmm
There were certain parts I'm like, wow, this looks even better than Playground. So yeah, man, Astrobot, September 6th. Is there anything you want to say about Astrobot?
I was gonna say that for those of you who may have played the playground and had heard of the first one, so the first one was a VR only title, I believe. This is not. This is actually going to be like you can sit down, play it on TV, no problem. So that was really the only thing I had to say about it. I know I'm going to be picking this up and I will play through it. My kids will play through it. My youngest will probably play through it about 19 times.
Dude, yeah.
great fun. The developers had said that this is basically their most ambitious title. So it's not a tech demo, it's not anything like that. It seems like this will be a full-blown game, and I am thoroughly excited because yeah, Playgrounds was fantastic. Like it was a blast to go in there, and it was relatively short, but I mean, when people were picking up the PS5, I mean, I would always tell them like you have to play this game. Like
Yes.
it you may think it's just a boring tech demo. Play this fucking game. It's incredible. It's still to this day the best use of any of the things going on in the DualShock
Showing
or
you, yeah, the
DualSense,
controller.
sorry. Yeah, like it's still the best use of all of that. And yeah, they make great games. They have great fun with it, and they do a lot of cool like callbacks and different things throughout the games that make it a lot of fun for both young and old audiences. And yeah, absolutely, we'll be picking this up day one.
Well, it was cool too, Playground, because it showed Landon how to use the controller.
Yeah,
Like he like would show you on like, hey, you need to press this. So he'd be like, like I was like, oh, learning because the game it's
yeah.
a very awesome title for younger kids, but it is cool because like as an adult, you're like, oh, dude, like immediately I'm like, oh, this is fucking awesome. Dude, like I love this until
Hmm.
he deletes save file each time I 100% the game. Um, but yeah, no, this is awesome. I've actually a couple weeks ago I was like, dude, we beat it again. Collected all the puzzle pieces and all that. I'm like, I could really go for like more Astro. And then I saw this leak. I knew this was coming prior to
Yeah.
the leak, but yeah, no, this is sweet. September 6th. This is gonna be a day one purchase for me. I'm gonna download it right away. I'll probably go or I'll, well, yeah, I have the non-physical PlayStation, so I'm gonna download it right. Play the shit out of this with my kid. I am so fucking excited. Astrobot. Day to play wasn't terrible, right? Like it wasn't anything crazy, spectacular, but you had some cool. I can't take that away. Um, Concord, God of War, Behemoth, Alien, Astrobot for me were the games that immediately just stole the show. Again, Silent Hill looks like poo poo. Give a shit about that. Leave games I don't care about, but if I had to grade it, I'd give it about a C.
Yeah, I would be about same ballpark. The games that stood out to me were a touch different, right? Like obviously, Wilds, Path of Exile,
Oh yeah, PoE as well. Yeah,
yeah, Where Winds Meet looked kind of cool. But yeah, see these are hard to grade because it's if you grade them compared to everything else, I think C is probably accurate. If you grade it according to the rest of the state of plays that we've had, I would say this was probably a B,
yeah,
because I think there has only been one state of play that I have been like, oh wow, that was a lot. Like that was
yeah.
actually pretty cool. Most of these are not anything incredible. They typically are not announcing huge things here. Like it's usually a deep dive into one game and then a bunch of like relatively quick looks at other games. Like I don't know, state of plays are just kind of weird for me. I don't feel like they've ever really hit the mark that people kind of wanted
Hype
them
them
to
up to
hit.
be. Yeah.
And so yeah, we go into a state of play and everybody's Silk Song, Bloodborne to PC, this and that. It's like none of that shit's ever gonna fucking happen.
Not
Like,
during
I
this,
wish
no.
it would. But if I feel like Sony, if they were going to announce Bloodborne for PC, it's gonna be at something like Summer Games Fest. Like to be perfectly honest, I just don't feel like they use the state of plays in an effective way to actually market huge games, and it's usually a deeper dive like I said into they had the one that was like 45 minutes and it was all about the PSVR 2, and that's the
Oh my
most effort
god.
they've ever put into that fucking thing at all.
Yeah.
It's just it's a very frustrating situation from Sony in my mind I feel like Sony is just doing a lot of weird shit this generation,
They
and so
sold
is
them. I mean, they
Xbox, so
won the proverbial console war, though. They sold the most units. Like, they're crushing it.
yeah, yeah. In theory, yeah. But a lot of that is because they won the PS4 and people are already locked into that ecosystem and they're just going to stay in that ecosystem because that's where the games are at. And
Yes.
but I also don't think Xbox is doing anything to put themselves ahead. If anything, I feel like more people are becoming PC gamers because they're sick of this bullshit.
Yes.
And I'm 100% on board with that. But yeah, I just state of plays are they're weird, man. Like I just never I think before we even watched it, I told you I was like, you know what? I expect nothing, and I'm already disappointed.
Got an hour and 16 minutes from it.
Yeah, I am a little surprised by. I wasn't sure how quickly we would blow through a lot of that, but you know, it was fine. There was some cool stuff in there, but a lot of it I couldn't fucking care less.
Yeah, it just is what it is. But on a brighter note to end the episode off, we do have Summer Games Fest coming up.
Yes,
We have PC
Xbox
Gaming Show,
showcase.
Xbox, Call of Duty, whole other bunch of Devolver Digital. Like, and they're celebrating an anniversary for this year. So like, there's a lot of cool shit. I have high expectations for. I just do for that showcase. I really do. First, Doom: The Dark
Uh,
Ages.
well, yeah, yeah. I think there's gonna be some really cool shit
Can I
there.
say something really quick?
Yeah,
Why didn't you just make Quake? That's what that is. Why didn't you just make Quake?
yeah.
I don't care about Indiana Jones. Give me Wolfenstein. Give me Quake.
Because let's be entirely honest here, Nick.
Not
Quake
Howard
doesn't
wanted a
have the
Wolfenstein game. That's or a fucking indie game. That's why.
Quake doesn't have the staying power anymore. Like just being
It's coming
entirely
back.
honest.
Coming back.
Eh, is it?
Yeah, I'm doing the Poly Walnuts. It's coming back.
Eh, I
50
I
bucks is
wish it
coming back.
would.
50 bucks.
In what capacity? Before I place a bet, I need to know what coming back means. Is it going to come back and actually?
We're gonna get a Quake game.
Okay, that's a whole different story than actually coming back.
Look at
Because
Doom though. Look, Doom did it
what did the Quake remaster a few years ago? How did that sell?
really
Like it
well.
didn't.
It did really well.
Yeah.
And then Quake 2, and then yeah, it did really good. People were
How
hype
many
on it.
people
Yeah.
are still playing it?
Okay, we're not pulling hairs here. We're not trying to skin a cat. So let's just figure this out. Anyways, yes, this is an off-air conversation. I'm stoked for Xbox's fucking showcase. I think it's gonna be cool. Call of Duty obviously is showing Black Ops 6. Like, that's a whole showcase in and of itself. We're gonna have a long
Eh,
day that Sunday. You know that, right?
yeah. Side note on the Call of Duty thing: Black Ops 6 is coming to Game Pass
Day one.
day one,
That's
which is a whole conversation in and of itself. But I figured I'd at least mention it here.
it is a whole conversation, and I
It's
think
that's a
oh
decision.
we are, ladies and gentlemen, please stand by. This is our busy season. I love busy season for us. Like, we are constantly recording, making cool content. We're getting wasted all the fucking time while we do it. I love that. We're not gonna be getting wasted this Sunday though. I'm not gonna tell you what we're doing. Got a really fucking. I teased at the top of the show. We have a really fucking cool episode. That'll be announced in an actually really cool fucking way next week sometime. So get ready for next week, and then we have a lot of games to talk about the weeks coming up. Obviously, there is going to be a lot of Summer Game Fest conversation. Um, oh man, our wives are going to hate us every year, baby. Thumbs up.
I didn't even get the thumbs up in camera.
You just win. You're right. I'm tired. Please check out the sponsors of the show, Final Boss LONGY. Check out Roll for Deception. That's Brody's show, and where him and Nick DM their respective campaigns. Check out the Spawn Camp. Join the server. It's free. Make some fucking friends. Have a good time. Until next Friday. Take it easy, everybody. Be safe.